Welcome, everyone, to another exciting episode of Nerdsittery, a Nerdsittery podcast. Today I'm with my lovely wife, who, if you're familiar with the channel, I'm sure you know. For those who don't know, I actually grew up in the north and moved down here when I was 8 to the south, I believe. I was 8 years old. My wife, though, is 100% a Southern Belle.
Tennessean? I wouldn't go with that. But native Tennessean is definitely what I am. Born, raised, planning on staying. Honestly, I really like Tennessee. So.
With that being said, we thought it'd be kind of fun to talk about some differences between the North and the South. And to be honest, I don't think it's as drastic as some people make it out to be. But we also want to talk about the lovely city of Nashville that we've kind of grown to hate. At least I have. We want to dispel some of the myths that I think exist about Nashville. Before we start with that,
glorious.
Yeah, so we recently went to one of our favorite vacation spots, Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. If you've never been there, it's so beautiful. It's up in the mountains. It's East Tennessee, where the actual country can be found, because you're not finding much country around here, believe me.
I wouldn't say country, but definitely mountains.
Yeah, at least land. You'll find land. We'll go with that.
We have land. Go fuck yourself, James.
Yeah, sure. But it's like Pigeon Forge has been around in Gatlinburg for years. It's not like a new spot or nothing. But recently there's been a rather large increase of tourists. And
because of moonshine.
Yeah. So, we were going there before all this distillery crap happened. And don't get me wrong, it's been a plus.
Y'all know us.
Yeah.
We are distillery loving moonshine swiggin'. Yeah.
There you go.
Moonshine swiggin' folks.
Yeah.
But that being said, there's other shit to do there, people.
Yeah. So the last time we went, and mind you, this is still, COVID.
Yeah.
And
we were still like mask zones, half capacity, like it's still supposed to be all that shit.
Yeah. It was packed, but it's just all about the moonshine now, which is cool. I love going there and trying the samples and everything, but there's just too many damn people now, and I'm like, is this all you are coming here to do? Like, it's just
at least 90%.
Yeah.
I think they come there for the moonshine and then stay for the other attractions kind of thing. Like, maybe that's what's bringing people there. If I'm looking on, my optimist view. Maybe that's just what's bringing people there, but it is turning into, it was always a tourist place, like realistically, it was always a tourist place, but now it's like tourist plus.
And you're probably wondering, what the hell are we talking about?
Yeah.
Where are we going with this? So I feel that booze is starting to ruin Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, and that's the same thing that happened to Nashville.
Yes.
When we first moved here, I'm not going to say how old I am. A long time ago, it wasn't that bad. Like, we did go downtown Nashville. There's a lot of like country music stuff to do. Obviously, if you're into country music, we hit the Ryman Auditorium. We did like the Grand Ole Opry all the time. There was actually a theme park at one point. Technically, well, it's Nashville, not downtown Nashville.
It's still Nashville, though.
Yeah.
That's what people came here for.
Yeah, but now I worked downtown for a short little while. For one, traffic is just fucking awful.
Oh, God. Yeah,
it's getting worse.
As the city grew, the roads were like, I'm still 2.
Oh, my God, yeah. Like,
I was like, all right, well, so you got to grow up eventually. So now it's growing up, but the problem is we are 10 years past where it should have grown up.
Yeah.
And so they're cutting it, like, traffic down to 1 lane in certain areas. Yeah. And even at 8 o'clock at night, when they shut down like 3 lanes of traffic, it will hold you up for 4 hours still, because there's still so many people on the road. We have too much traffic now for the developments that they're trying to make in our cities. And it's just like, this should have happened a long time ago.
Yeah, and more companies are moving to Nashville. More and more people are moving.
Which is exciting.
It's exciting.
These are exciting things. Don't get me wrong. Like, we're not opposed to growth.
Yeah, but there's problems with it as well.
Yeah.
But with that all being said, yeah, traffic sucks. A commute for us to Nashville, depending on the time of the day, can be 25 minutes to 2 hours.
Yes.
Like, that's ridiculous. But
and also, Tennessee drivers.
Oh, yeah, Tennessee
Well,
drivers.
actually, I still stand by. It's not Tennessee drivers. It's so many people are coming here from other states. They don't drive like us.
Like
So
maniacs?
y'all are fucking it up.
Like
so
maniacs?
all I'm saying, quit driving like a grandma. Go the speed limit plus 20 like everybody
Right.
else. Merge without blinkers. Really like edge in when you got to. If
Yep.
y'all would all drive like this, we'd be doing fine.
I'm sure. So again, where are we going with this? So downtown Nashville. Now, both the wife and I have worked in downtown Nashville before. Now, I don't know how bad it was when you worked there, but I'm a lot more recent. And it's packed with so many tourists. But really, when it comes to downtown Nashville, there's not a whole lot to do but bar hop. I'm sorry. There's just not...
So unless, okay, look, realistically, if you're going for music, country music is everywhere.
Yep.
And most of the time, though, they're singing somebody else's songs. So it's not like they're doing covers. So it's not really like you're going to find somebody new and discover them before they've been discovered and all that stuff. You can, but it's rare because most of those people are actually touring. They might live here, but they sure as hell do not tour here. So
Yeah.
they're touring all out, and they're not really like here. So,
Coming to Nashville to be a country music star is like going to Hollywood to be an actor.
Yeah.
You're not the only one. You're not some genius that's thought of some new scheme.
Revelation.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So that's the other thing. Like, so if you're coming here for music and stuff, for country music, you're probably like, it's oversaturated. It's annoying.
Oh my God.
And when you go down the strip, it's just like that. You hear so many different songs at once. It'll mix your mind, and honestly, like personally, I get annoyed.
Yeah.
But if you go down, I'm not saying go down dark alleys, but if you go down to some of the off streets and a couple of there are alley bars and stuff, but you have to research them before you go. Please don't go down random dark alleys by yourself.
Yeah.
But if you go down like some of the alleys and stuff, you're gonna hear some of the best blues and jazz music that you have ever heard. They do great jobs. They're great places to be in, and they are talented folks. But when you're on that Broadway, all you're going to hear is 25 people singing the same country music song, and they're all sloshed, and you're probably sloshed, and then you're going to also end up buying a lot of Jack Daniels themed stuff.
Yeah, that's the coolest store down there is the Jack Daniel's store. Yeah, it's just I don't know. I was fun walking around downtown like when I was on break and all this kind of stuff, but it's so annoying. There's too many people. By the way, we know you're a tourist because you're the only one walking around in tight ass jeans, some fucking cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. Nobody fucking wears that shit here. Myth busted. Nobody wears that shit here.
Nobody who lives here wears that shit.
Yes.
Here. So
if you see that, tourist.
Okay, to be fair, we did in 1992.
Yeah.
So if you go back to 1992, yeah, you're rocking it out. But yeah, now
nobody wears that shit.
Nobody wears that. We wear normal people clothes.
Even the people on the goddamn stage playing country music half the time aren't wearing that shit.
Yeah, like they may have cowboy boots. I'm not gonna lie. Most of them have a cowboy boot on, but
and got like some 30-gallon hat on and all this kind of shit.
like
So.
oh god, it's so annoying.
Yeah, and
Jesus.
So it's funny because you were talking about walking down hearing all this music. The one of my favorite songs by Garth Brooks is "Much Too Young to Feel This Damn Old." I love that song. I no joke. I was walking down, heard someone playing that song. Oh, cool, love that song. Walked past, heard a different song. No joke. Then heard "Much Too Young to Feel This Damn Old" by someone else 2 bars down. I was like, oh my god.
I told you it's the same songs over and over that people are singing. When I've been downtown several times, and probably the first time I ever went downtown, I'm gonna give my story. Sorry, Mom, because I don't think you know this story. When I was 15, I was gonna go to a Lit concert. My friend won 4 tickets to see Lit. So we all go downtown in our Jinkos and crop tops, and we were ready. We were rocking it. We get dropped off by her mom, and her mom bails. This is the time before cell phones. Go stand in line, get up there. You have to be 18. So we could not get in. And her mom wasn't coming to pick us up until 11:30. Literally walked around downtown. We didn't have enough money for like anything, so we ended up going to Sbarro's. By the way, at the time, there was an actual freestanding Sbarro's.
It's still there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ha!
Well, it was when I
that.
worked there. It was, yeah.
That's fantastic. So yeah, we went to a freestanding Sbarro's.
I think that's the first time I've ever seen a Sbarro's not in a mall.
I know, me too. We were so excited. That's why we went there. And then we walked around downtown. And realistically, the only things that we ran into, because there wasn't like, that we walked down Broadway, and it wasn't annoying. We heard some nice music. Not everybody we walked by were drunks or anything. Like, it wasn't crazy. The only thing we ran into was one guy who was a homeless guy who stopped me and in jeans and a t-shirt telling me I shouldn't be a prostitute and I shouldn't be selling myself on the streets. But my friends were like, Kim, just walk away. And I was like, I'm really sorry, sir. Have a great day. Because, you know, in the South, we're polite to people. So, you know, I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm not a whore, but I hope you have a good one. And we walked off.
I think he was hoping you were a whore.
I know. But we walked around the whole town and everything was fine. Everything was fine. It was not what it is today. It was open roads. People were driving through, but not really, because there was places you could actually park. Yeah. Now you can't even park. And then the places you can go park are $30 to park. They used to be $5. Now it's $30. I'm like, no.
The biggest thing, so, you know, it just, I don't know. I feel like alcohol just brings a whole different crowd, and it gets too much, and it gets kind of annoying. And I'll tell you right now, the worst of it, I'm sorry, white chicks out there, you are the worst. You can't turn I'm not exaggerating. You can't turn a fucking corner without seeing one of those damn party buses 12 o'clock in the afternoon with like 15 white chicks sloshed out of their mind. 12 o'clock in the fucking afternoon. And you turn down there's another one. It's like, it's too much. And fine, if you're into partying and all this kind of shit, sure, it's the best place to go. But I just wish there was more to do. But anyway, that was our rant about Nashville. We've
been building that up for a while.
Yeah, it just we love booze, but man, sometimes it just makes things just unbearable.
But, little tidbit: if you do come here, go visit the places that are around Nashville.
Yeah, and
or in Nashville, but in the like kind of perimeter of Nashville.
Good Parthenon.
Oh my God,
beautiful.
The Parthenon is beautiful, and they're doing a whole lot of new stuff to the park, by the way. So once they're finished with construction, God, there's so much construction. Once they finish the Parthenon, the Centennial Park construction, it's going to be awesome. So if you come down, check it out. Check out some places around. Do some of the tour buses that show you celebrity houses. I don't care, but please don't do pedal bars. And
the pedal bars. That's another thing.
Pedal bars and party buses. And
if you want to get drunk, just do what we do. Stay home and get drunk.
Or bring it with you.
Yeah.
And hide it like decent people.
It's cheaper that way. That was just kind of a rant we wanted to go on for a little while. I don't see that like Nashville is a place that I would be willing to travel across the country for. I just don't feel that way.
Right.
But that's just me. Country. There is not a lot of country in Nashville. I don't care what country music tells you anymore. It's not Nashville. That's another myth. We wanted to get that out of the way. Again, like we said, nobody wears cowboy hats and all that kind of shit. But yes, let's get to the differences between the North and the South. So how are we starting with this?
So tell me, do you have words or do you have phrases mostly?
I have mostly words. I can't think of a whole lot of like phrases.
Oh.
But that's definitely a Southern thing, and my wife has like an encyclopedia over there. Encyclopedia, excuse me.
So we'll start with words. I'll go into words, and then I'll just go on a full like bucket dump of fantastic phrases from the South.
Before we do that though, we do want to talk about. So you had never really left Tennessee until like we started dating, right?
No, like I had been to Kentucky like a couple times. Yeah, I had been to North Carolina a couple times. And my dad was like, "You've been to Florida and you've been to Canada?" I was 1.
Canada.
It does not count. Yeah, I went to Canada apparently when I was an infant.
Oh, wow.
And also New York, we went to Niagara Falls, and then he took me over to Canada, and then we went. It was like a whole trip with my grandma and him, and I was like,
Yeah, that doesn't count.
but I've been to Pennsylvania,
Yeah, so that's
Indiana.
yeah. Well, you can count Virginia and West Virginia and Maryland. Technically, we drive through those.
Driving through also does not count.
Counts,
It does
counts.
not count.
It
I don't
counts.
care what you say. If I did not get to stop and visit, it doesn't
I'm
count.
sure we stop and peed. That
I
counts.
hate you. That is wrong, sir. So I'm going to count with me being in northern states. The only northern states I have been to is Indiana and Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So I don't have a whole lot of knowledge here, people. So I can't bash the Yankees because I'm married to one and I really kind of like him. I don't know why, but
I don't know.
I kind of like him.
I
So
mean,
I'm going to
north
keep
and
him
south,
around.
opposites attract.
I know, right?
Yeah, so the one thing I do want to state, there wasn't a big culture shock for me when I moved down here, and I was 8 years old. It wasn't because I remember before I moved down here, all my friends at home was like, do they just all walk around talking like this with their straw hats and barefoot? And I'm like,
And overalls.
no, and overalls. Yeah, I'm like, no, they're
They just got everything off an episode of Hee Haw
So-
and was like, that's how it is.
So what cracks me up is people's interpretation of the South is literally where I grew up in the North.
I know.
People from the North know what I'm talking about. There's so much more country up there to be found, at least from around where we are here. It's completely different. All those standards, I knew those people that,
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it wasn't a big culture shock. There's some Southern sayings and stuff like that, but I mean, we'll get to that. But I mean, when you went back home, there was a couple of things, and we'll get to that my grandmother said. You're like, what?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's when she came down. So I had met his grandmother
okay.
when she came down, and I didn't meet. I met your other grandmother when I went up.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. So your Graham Robbins, I met her when she came down for a visit.
That's right, yeah. Oh, that's right, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, we were freshly dating, I think, at that time. So, yeah, I mean, when we went back home, I think one thing you were probably shocked by the country, so to speak, up there.
Yeah, I honestly, I mean, I didn't expect it to be all city. I'm not that stupid.
Yeah.
But, I really expected it to be, more like where I lived.
Yeah.
Because where I live, it's a town, it's a city. And so there's a lot of stuff here. And, I mean, it wasn't always like this, but here...
Well, it's grown significantly.
Yeah, it's grown a lot. But where we live at now, it's like going anywhere. So there's grocery stores and there's everything. Everything you would need. There, to get to everything that you need, it's like a 30-minute trek to get to town. You still live in the town, but you got to drive 30 minutes to get there. And so I never really realized that. I didn't realize that, she would live backcountry up mountains.
Yeah, my grandmother, was up in the mountains, so to speak.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's definitely the country up there.
Yeah.
Up in the woods.
It's beautiful, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. But, I mean, aside from that, I mean, that's kind of it. I mean, I don't know. There's not, to me, a big drastic difference between the North and the South. At least the way people make it out to be.
Yeah.
It's just another place. With that being said, so yeah, the one thing, and this is everywhere you go. There's always going to be different words, different slang, different accents. Oh, yeah, let's actually talk about the accents real quick.
So, okay. When people normally meet me, this is what I sound like. I don't really have an accent. I try to suppress my accent. I learned that when I was a kid. I don't really have a whole lot going on, and a lot of people don't know where I'm from.
Yeah.
Because I don't say certain words like other people in my town. But in a relaxed environment, my accent comes out a little bit more.
Or when she's mad.
And definitely when I'm mad.
And then I stoke
But definitely
fire.
when I'm talking about these words. So as I start talking about these words, y'all are going to hear it a lot. Feel free to make fun. I'm totally up for it because I love it.
But with that, it's not like Hannah Montana.
Yeah, see,
That's
her
the thing.
accent is realistically her real accent is normal, but what she portrays
It's over the
is
top. Yeah.
way over the top, but it's also like more, it's like a blend of Tennessee and Georgia. Like that Southern Belle meets regular Tennessean.
The one thing that was hard for me for some reason, and now it's something I bounce back and forth. And when I first moved down here, so I was at third grade, I believe. I remember, I'd be in class and like, well, tell us about yourself or something. And I remember people were so confused when I would say my aunt. And they're like, what? I was like, my aunt. I'm like, you're what? I'm like, I'm confused. I'm like, and I'm panicking. Like, I don't know what to do at this point.
Abort!
Someone would be like, you mean your aunt? I'm like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, see, that feels awkwardly formal.
That's what's weird. Like, everybody back home, we always said aunt.
Yeah.
And now I do hear it, like, both.
Here.
Yeah. It's but I don't know. Apparently, this one classroom of the town that I moved to, nobody said that. And I'm like, I feel like aunt sounds far more country than aunt.
Yeah, I mean, my whole family says aunt.
Yeah.
There's also ain't.
Ain't. Well, that's straight country right there.
Yeah, your Aunt Michelle. That's country.
Yeah. I just wanted to point that out. That was one of the hardest things, or at least like the only culture shock that I experienced when I first moved down here. And that's so subtle. I just remember that. I don't know. It was like a traumatizing moment.
Well,
to
yeah,
stand
I mean,
up in
it's
class.
like your freaking first day of class,
Yeah,
man.
we're like,
you just moved here. Now you're like, I'm not going to have friends because I said aunt.
Did you hear that, people? She said Franz, by the way.
Stop.
Here it comes. It's going to get worse. It's going to be great. So, yeah, I couldn't find any northern phrases. I even reached out to my mom. My mom and dad are back home in Pennsylvania, unfortunately. But even they can't really think of anything. So I guess we're not big on phrases, but there is a lot of slang. So I don't know if you want me to just go down my list and then go down your list.
Let's do it back and forth.
Okay. So the first one, this is more of an Eastern Pennsylvania thing. Definitely Jersey.
It's a Jersey thing.
I use it jokingly a lot of times, but use guys.
Yeah.
I like that. I don't know. I've always liked use guys.
I mean, yeah.
You know?
I mean, we got the y'alls.
Yeah.
So it's use guys.
It is the and I will say that's the one thing I did pick up when I moved down here was y'all. It's just
everybody does. It's so easy.
Yeah, it's not even a Southern thing anymore. I feel like that's just kind of, it's almost universal now.
I know. We're like, welcome to the States, y'all.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But because I mean, you all is just way too difficult to say. Like it's just you all is. I feel like it's tiring actually after.
Well, I mean, we're in a fast-paced society. We only have limited time. We don't have time to say 2 words.
Right.
Okay.
Y'all.
Shorten it up. Let's go.
You could argue how to spell it, but that's fine. All right, what do you got?
Oh, yeah, my aunt spells it Y-A-W.
Y-A-W. Y'all?
Y'all.
Y'all.
Hey, y'all. Yeah.
Wow.
Britches.
Britches? Okay.
Yeah, is that just a South thing? I feel like that's an everywhere thing. But, you know.
So we did go online to look these up, by the way. Because, I mean, obviously I couldn't think of it.
Keep in mind, all of these words I either say, and phrases, I either have said or heard a family member say. So even though I went online and looked them up, I only wrote down the ones that I have heard in real life.
Yeah. Britches, I mean...
I feel like it's a universal thing.
Yeah, I feel that way.
But I didn't know, because there was a couple things that I felt was universal and brought it up to you, and you were like,
oh, yeah.
No, I've never heard that before. So I was like, well, maybe britches is just a South thing, so let's check.
I mean, I think it probably started, but I mean, I can't tell you I heard people say it up north, but I've been down here for so damn long.
Yeah.
I've heard it on TV shows, so who knows. So, I never picked this up. For me, when someone asks, hey, do you want something to drink? I would say Pepsi or Coke or 7-Up. I said what the fuck I wanted. In the South, everything's Coke, by the way. Everything is Coke.
Yeah, so like at my house, I would stand up with a friend who, by the way, was always confused by this, and I'd say, "Hey, you want a Coke?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, sure." I'm like, "What kind?" And especially the ones that aren't from here. Some of my friends who like are from here either had never heard it before, so I don't know if that's just a my household thing or what, but it was just a thing. So we would always say, "What kind?" And they're like, Coke is Coke.
Yeah.
I don't understand. And I'm like, well, we have grape and we have Sprite and we have orange and then we have like regular Coke. And so it's like if you didn't throw regular in front of it, I just thought like I had options.
Right. So the two big ones you'll hear back home is soda. That is kind of more of an Eastern thing from what I saw. I did hear people say pop. For some reason, that one always drove me nuts. I have no idea why. Some will even say soda pop. They'll like combine.
Yeah, I mean, soda pop is actually what it is.
Technically, yeah. So yeah, I heard both of those, and I don't know. For me, I never picked it up. I just said what the fuck I wanted.
All right, so cattywampus.
Cattywampus. Okay,
Do you know this one?
It sounds like something from Alice in Wonderland.
It's. I mean, it might be.
I have heard it, but I can't tell you what the hell it is.
Okay, so all of our toys are like set up on a shelf, and right now, like there's a few of them that are sitting kind of cattywampus.
Oh, okay.
Because they're like off of where they need to be, or they're weird, or they're like knocked over.
Gotcha.
Or whatever. Yeah, so cattywampus.
Here's one. Oh, one thing we didn't talk about. We'll get to that. Road apples. You know what a road apple is, right?
I can assume. I'm gonna assume that it's horse crap.
Yep.
Yeah, because Amish people. It's the Amish country.
Yeah.
In case you didn't know.
And really cool people. I'm not gonna lie. Like you can try to judge them for being weird or whatever all you want, but really cool people, very laid back. My grandmother even like babysat for like an Amish couple down the road from her house. But yeah, road apples. You'll see a lot of those up home, and you'll also see something else, and we'll get to that.
Okay. So this one, I know you know, and a lot of people know because it was on Blue Collar Comedy Tour, at least a little bit. Fixin'.
Fixin', yeah.
So, when he was like, I'm fixin' to, all right, that one.
I feel like that's evolved to fit into, though.
I mean, it is fitting to, realistically, like, if you're adding two behind it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's
fitting to, got
yeah.
it.
But if there's no two, it's fixin'. But if there's an S, it has to do with the side items at your meal.
Oh, fixins, yeah.
Yeah, so if you have the fixins, so I'm having fried chicken and all the fixins, that is all the side items that typically would come with that item.
Yeah, we just had sides.
Yeah, we had fixins.
This one, I wrote this down. I don't think I ever heard anybody say this. I don't know where up north. It may have been Eastern again. I wrote this down specifically because it just sounds like something my wife would love. Peachy Keen.
Oh, we totally use Peach King.
Really?
Yeah.
That's apparently also a northern
Peachy
thing.
Keen jelly bean.
Yeah, it's all good. Or everything's
Yeah.
good. I never heard anybody say that back home, but apparently some people do.
That's interesting.
So, yeah.
Gussied up.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. I figured that's like an everywhere thing, but I wasn't sure.
No, I don't think anybody says that back home, but yeah.
Okay.
I do know gussied up.
Yeah, if you don't know what gussied up is, it's when you're all dressed up. Like, I'm all gussied up and ready to go out. I'm all dressed up and ready to go out. Same thing. Interchangeable. Get ready.
This next one can mean a couple of things. Buggy.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on what you're talking about.
Yeah,
but
so we were just talking about the Amish. We'll see a lot of horse and buggy.
Yeah.
You'll see that. But even down here, I've heard people say, like, shopping cart. I'll hear buggy.
Yeah.
So it's not... It's just weird, like, to see, like, I guess, like, eventually just things are starting to mesh together in a way. But yeah,
Well,
horse and buggy.
Hankering.
Hankering. Okay, that's, like, hungry, right? Or
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah, to be hungry.
Hankering. Yins, or sometimes...
Like Ewans.
Yeah, sometimes people would say Ewans, but some said yins, or basically another y'all situation.
Yeah.
Yins. I know my mom would occasionally... There was a lot of things my mom said, but she would kind of say it ironically. She would say "yous guys," but she would say Ewans every now and then. Always ironically, but... Apparently also Gesundheit is something very commonly said up north. Which I guess makes sense, like the Pennsylvania Dutch, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that has something to do with it. I know my mom used to always say that a lot, but I mean,
Yeah.
I just thought, that's the German side of my family. I don't know.
Highfalutin.
Highfalutin. I have not heard that one.
You have never heard of somebody being highfalutin?
No.
Oh, well, okay, so it's like if they're really rich.
Nope.
So typically it's either that they're really rich, or like a highfalutin society is a very wealthy society. Or if they're snobby. She's acting
Okay.
all highfalutin.
No, I have never heard
Yeah.
that one before.
There you go.
Here's yours, your favorite. Crick.
I swear. So, the first time I met his grandmother, like literally the first time I met his grandmother, we were at his house and they have a creek in the back. And she was like, she said something about the crack. And I just like whispered to him, I was like, what's a crack? And he was like, creek. He said it all loud and shit. And so then everybody's like looking at me like, oh, she doesn't know what a creek is. Or, you know, that's kind of like how the impression I got. But no, she knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, and that's what's funny because like it's when you start looking stuff up like this, you start to realize that wow, I have heard this, but I'd never picked it up for some reason. You never questioned it. So yeah, I'd never said crack.
Piddlin.
Piddlin.
Yeah.
Peeing?
No. Well, I mean, I guess it could be peeing, but no, like, you know, I'm just piddling around. Like, I'm just kind of like doing stuff.
I feel like I've heard people say that.
Things that are unimportant. My grandmother says it all. Nanny, she says it all the time. Like, I'll call her and I'll be like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just piddling around. What are you doing? And yeah, so.
Is it piddle? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Piddle is what you're thinking of.
Okay.
That's pee.
Okay.
Which technically the dog could be piddling on the floor.
Well, no, I guess it's like you're pissing around. Same thing, I guess.
Yes, same thing.
Okay, that makes sense. This one apparently is a Pittsburgh thing, and I've heard people say this, and I don't know. I'm trying to think of who technically says this. Jagoff. Isn't that like a British thing?
Yes.
It's like an insult.
Yes. Jagoff?
Yeah, Jagoff.
Not Jackoff.
No, Jagoff.
Yes, that is a British thing.
Yeah, apparently that's commonly said in Pittsburgh.
Interesting.
Only Pittsburgh, though, from what I saw.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like these next two are like super common, but I don't know. Shit, you didn't know what cattywampus was, and that just threw me off. Ruckus.
Just picture Alice in Wonderland. Ruckus, yeah.
Yeah, ruckus. Like, everybody should know what that is, but when you hear a loud sound or something, or like people are, you know, being loud.
One that I never really associated with the North. We did say it a lot, but it wasn't something that was like hard for me to adjust down here. But typically up north, we always said a hoagie.
Instead of?
Like a sub.
Oh. Well, there's a difference. There's a sub, and then there's a hoagie.
Not up north. And even other things like sliders. Some people say sliders. Mm-hmm. It's just, they're all the same thing. It's all a sub. But yeah, we always said hoagies back home. And recently I thought about that. So, man, I don't think anybody ever down here says hoagie.
Yeah, no, here we're civilized fucking people.
Oh, no, it's a fucking hoagie.
And we have a hoagie bun, a specific bun for a hoagie. And then
what's the difference?
It's the bun.
Oh, that's
a slider is like small and, you know, is like a 3-bite thing. A hoagie is like a more dense bread that is kind of short and stocky, but long. But yeah, but then when you go to Subway, like the bread is softer. And it's long, like it's a little longer. That softer bread is
a hot dog is a hoagie.
No, a hot dog is not a hoagie. My last one is skedaddle.
Skedaddle. Okay, I say that. That's
It's time to skedaddle. We gotta go. Yeah. Let's
go. One that I was surprised by. Apparently, up home, it's very common now to say "jeet yet."
Is it?
Apparently, yeah. Which is funny because we did say that. My dad used to always say it, but it was because of, I'm pretty sure it was Bill Engvall. It kind of became like a joke, but apparently now it is a very common thing up home to say "jeet yet."
Yeah.
So, did you eat yet? By the way, if you didn't know that, but I mean that always follows up with "nah, Jew."
Yeah.
Yont to.
Yeah.
All right.
We're doing Southern phrases. Some you may have heard of, and some you may not have. So let us know if you've heard of them. Pitching a hissy fit.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
I figured that one would be.
Yeah.
He's just a snake in the grass.
I've heard that, yeah.
Yeah. Worthless as gum on a boot heel.
No, I've not.
Really? I'm so broke, I can't jump over a nickel to save a dime.
Wow. I haven't heard that one.
Really?
No.
So we normally say, like, we're so broke, or he's so broke he ain't got a pot to piss in.
Wow.
Not heard that one either?
No, I have not.
Really? But there's an extended one, which is the one that was on the website, and it says he ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of.
Wow.
Lost his last year's Easter egg.
No.
Really?
Nope.
Well, just dill my pickle.
Huh. I said that to a chick once. It didn't turn out.
Whose hell is this? I'll give you something to cry about.
Okay, no, I think that one's got to be pretty universal. I feel like I heard that one when I was a kid.
I'm like, that one, like, my mom said that shit all the time. Like, we're crying, and she's like, you better stop crying, or I'll give you something to cry about.
Yeah, I feel
and
like
then
that's
it
pretty
would make
universal.
us cry more.
It typically
Just so you know. Quit going around your ass to get to your elbow.
What?
Quit going around your ass to get to your elbow. Like, there's
No.
a shorter way to do it.
Okay.
Quit going around your ass to get to your elbow.
Interesting. It's a weird visual I have in my head of that, actually.
Don't piss on my leg and tell me it's rain.
No.
No.
No one has ever said that.
Yeah, it's
to me at least.
Yeah, it's about a liar. Don't tell me lies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, butter my butt and call me a biscuit.
No. Well, I mean, I feel like I've heard variations of that in some way. Probably.
Yeah, that one's more like a surprise. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cream your corn,
Wow.
and it's not dirty. It means I'm gonna punch you in the fucking face.
I'm gonna cream your corn. Speaking of which, I fucking love cream corn.
It is fucking delicious.
Yeah.
She's pretty as a pumpkin, but half as smart.
What?
That one, I'm not gonna lie, I had never heard anybody say that one.
I was about to say, yeah.
When you said, he said something to me on the couch about me being like partially dumb, and so when I was writing these down, I saw that one and I was like, oh, this is one for him to use from now on.
All right, everyone, that was another exciting episode of Nerdsittery. Yeah, we've wanted to do this for a while. It was fun to get out of the way. So yeah,
these are things we talk about all the time. This is what we do when we're riding in the car.
But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned. Who knows what's next? I have no idea. We're just kind of picking
Wing it.
topics and going for it. So yeah.